Hey guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Salvador Brinkman here from the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast, crowdcrux.com, and of course, the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. And on today's video, I want to talk about 3 tips or 3 bits of advice that I have for you in the audience if you're looking to launch a crowdfunding campaign, or if you've already launched one and you're wondering, how do I actually now do this? What are the best practices out there? This is advice for you. And the very first bit of advice that I have is that you must go with the correct platform that is the best fit for your project and what you're trying to raise money for. So for example, don't try to raise money on GoFundMe for a business. Don't try to raise money for charity on Kickstarter. Don't try to raise money giving away shares of your company on Indiegogo. Don't try to raise money for like a real estate offering on one of these sites. Every single site has its own benefits and its own drawbacks. And every single site has its own use cases, the ones that cater most to it. So if you want to learn a little bit about the different sites, the different crowdfunding websites that you can raise money on, I'll link to a YouTube video in the description of this YouTube video. I'll also include a annotation here so you can check out the video I made with the various crowdfunding websites that you can check out. So that's the first tip that I have for you today. The second is, this actually stems from a very big problem, both in the CrowdCrux community, both on the forum that I run, and also just people who email me in general. And that's, I'll always get these emails of people saying like, Sal, would you please share my project? Like, it would mean so much to me. I haven't got any pledges. Can you tweet this out to your thousands of followers? Can you share this on your email list, which now has over 10,000 subscribers? Can you please in some way feature me on your blog? Take the time to write about my project. That is the worst time to conduct outreach. I hate to say it, but a huge problem in the crowdfunding community is people giving no thought to the actual marketing of their campaign. They hit the launch button, their project is now live, and they're wondering, oh wait, like no one's backing it, how do I now get the word out? Well, that's a question that you should be considering before you actually launch your campaign. You should really attempt to, or at least put the focus on, bringing the crowd to crowdfunding. And I know that sounds very strange. Like, aren't you supposed to go to one of these crowdfunding sites to get a crowd? Or like, aren't you supposed to go there for donations? It in some ways used to be like that. Now with so much competition, you actually need to bring a bit of your own crowd. So that own crowd is actually in the first 3 days donating to your campaign, pledging to it. Other people that then discover that campaign are more likely to check out what it is that you're doing. So by bringing your own crowd, you're not just trending better in the overall platform, but you also have that social proof there, that initial momentum needed to really conduct a great launch for your campaign. So that first initial crowd goes back to, you don't want to just launch a campaign and then start talking with your friend you haven't talked to in the last 4 years, maybe you went to high school with or you went to college with, and say, hey, would you mind donating money? It comes off as very self-serving. Invest and strengthen those relationships before you need them. You should be initially trying to build that crowd months in advance before you hit that launch button, ideally at least 4 weeks beforehand. That way you don't look like you're very self-serving and just asking people to do things. There's actually some basis there. And that sort of brings me into my next point here in terms of the marketing of your campaign. There is, of course, organic marketing. There's, of course, a lot to be said for building up social media profiles, for building up an email list before you launch, etc. My third point is on considering investing in paid advertisements and paid marketing or PR. Nowadays, actually a lot of the projects that we see that do extremely well, doing 6-figure raises, 7-figure raises, not just thought a lot about marketing, but are also investing in their marketing. They're investing in either a professional marketer, a professional PR agency, Facebook ads, ads on various platforms, press releases, etc. They've created a budget that they're willing to part with these dollars because they believe that this will actually invest in the project and cause more backers to discover them and more pledges to result. And actually, I think that Facebook advertising is something that's seen a lot of popularity in the last year, probably 2 years. More and more crowdfunding entrepreneurs are using Facebook to get people interested in their project and to get them actually clicking on those ads. So they are actually seeing an ROI. Now I will say that there are different strategies depending on if you're doing more of a GoFundMe personal crowdfunding campaign versus a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or even it's very different if you're doing an equity crowdfunding raise. I will link to some of the advice I have if you're doing a GoFundMe campaign. I'll also link to a very comprehensive video that I put together on the different sources of Kickstarter and Indiegogo backers. So where do you actually find these people? Where do you get these people who are interested in your project? I go way more in depth in this video as to how to go about finding these people and building that crowd. But these are the 3 very high level tips that I have for you. If you're looking to launch a crowdfunding campaign or you've already launched one, you're wondering like, why is this not going as expected? Number 1, choose the right platform. Number 2, think about the marketing and bring your own crowd to crowdfunding. And number 3, consider investing in the project. Create some kind of a marketing advertisement budget where they have to scrape together money in any way and see it as more of an investment than an expenditure. I hope this video was helpful for you. Again, my name is Salvador Brigman. This is the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. And if you did enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. That way other people who come to the video know it's just worth spending a few minutes watching. And I also invite any questions that you have, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you want more videos like this, also don't forget to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.